Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Bonnie Caitlin here, and I'm here to talk about wedding stuff today. If you'll notice, it's been a few days since I've posted. I've been under the weather. Texas weather has just snapped cold and hot all week, and I've gotten some sort of coughing thing going on, so if I start coughing in the middle of this video, I deeply apologize. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 things you should keep in mind when you're setting your wedding date. So this is for if you just got engaged and you're starting to set your wedding date and you haven't really even started planning it all yet. This is the video for you. So without further ado, I'll just jump right into it. Number 1, you want to keep in mind the time of year. So for example, if you want to have a beautiful outdoor wedding in Texas, spring is a really good time for that, or fall. But if you want to have it in the middle of the summer, you got to keep in mind that our summers can get to be about 110 degrees when it's really hot outside. I went to a summer wedding this year where we were in a metal building semicircle thing, and the wedding was beautiful, but there was no AC and everyone was burning up. I mean, bride's hair was out to here. I mean, bless her heart, she looked beautiful, but you could tell the humidity was really starting to get to her. So that's one thing you really want to keep in mind. I'm a week away from my wedding right now. My wedding is November 11th. And I really wanted to have a fall wedding because I just love fall. I'm basic. My cake is pumpkin spice, okay? But all of this stuff I would not have been able to get away with had I chose a different month out of the year. Number 2, and probably the biggest thing you want to keep in mind, is the size of your event. If you're having a small get-together with about 20 people, you can get away with having it really close. You can even plan the wedding in a month if you'd like. But traditionally with bigger weddings where you're having several hundred people, you're going to want to give yourself plenty of time to prepare. I messed myself up. Now I had a 4-month engagement and I'm a week away from my wedding. One of my bridesmaids just dropped out. My wedding hairdresser is not happening. All of my centerpieces fell through. It's just been like really crazy. But because I didn't give myself the proper amount of time for the number of guests I'm having, now I'm having this nightmare. So just make sure that when you're setting your date, you give yourself plenty of time for your guest list to get long if it needs to get long. So number 3, it's going to be your venue availability. So if you have any idea where you're going to want to get married, that's going to be your first step in planning, because if you don't have a place to get married, you really can't have a wedding. I mean, you can have a wedding without a hairdresser, without someone to do your nails or whatever, but you cannot have a wedding without a location. So you have to make sure that your venue is available around the time that you're wanting to book. And you're going to want to make sure you get a deposit with them, because if you don't put a deposit, if you haven't paid money for it, you don't have that service. Sorry to say it. You can sit here and say that, you can say, oh, it's my friend, they'll cut me a discount and they'll save me the date and everything, and you don't give them a deposit. Sorry, that's not your service, and they haven't offered you anything if you haven't paid them at all. So just keep that in mind. Number 4, you're definitely going to want to keep in mind your family members' availability. So if your great Aunt Marcia, who lives in Iowa, is going to be busy that weekend and she really wants to make your wedding, you need to keep in mind while you're still in these early stages that you can kind of manipulate the weekends. I had an issue really early on. One of my best friends, I wanted to make her a bridesmaid, and she is president of housing at her university, or not president, but she's pretty up there. She has a lot of responsibility, and she couldn't go that weekend because she's hosting a conference, or she'll be at a conference, and I made the decision to go forth anyway. But that's something you need to keep in mind. If you have people out of town who need to make arrangements, you need to make sure that you give yourself enough time for them to book their plane ticket or to plan a trip or anything like that, or even your local relatives, that they're not going to be busy with something else that might be more life and death than your wedding. Your wedding's important, but there are obviously things that might come first. Number 5, this one can kind of, and I debated on putting this one on here at all, but this one can be kind of important to you based on maybe your religious beliefs, but you want to make sure that your officiant is available. when I planned my wedding date, I honestly just got lucky and everything fell kind of where it needed to for the most part. But, and my officiant just happened to be available, but had I planned it the weekend prior, he would have been at a conference as well. So I would have had no officiant. Well, I would have been able to find one if I really wanted to, but I wouldn't have been able to get married by my fiance's childhood pastor, and that was something that was really important to him as well as kind of to me. So we were able to make that happen, which was fantastic. But it doesn't happen that way for everyone, so that's one of the first people you're going to want to talk to, and hopefully you're close enough with that person or they'll be one of the first to know anyway. So, by the way, if you guys love oversized sweaters like the one I'm wearing right now, y'all go check out my compadre Ashley's video. She definitely tried on some really cute sweaters in her mini haul, so go take a look at that. I believe that's all 5. If you liked this wedding video, if you like more wedding themed videos, leave me a comment, let me know. I'll definitely make more in the future. Definitely give me a subscribe, a like if you liked this video, and I hope to see you guys next time when I'm less sick. Bye!